Welcome to my presentation. Today I'll be presenting information on a population at risk, child sex trafficking. This has become a global issue here in the United States as well. And I would like to bring some highlights and make people aware of it. My name is Melinda Green. I'm a student here at Indiana State University, and this is a presentation for my Nursing Community Health Class 444. Hope you enjoy. During this presentation, I will cover a few major points on child sex trafficking. The first one we're going to cover is what is sex trafficking. We'll go over into what it is defined as and what it does and what it means. We're also going to go who's at risk for being targeted to be trafficked, what children, what teens, what young adults are aimed for. We're going to go who is behind this and who also benefits from this. And then we're going to go over what can be done to protect these children and what can you do to help prevent it or at least stop it. Before you continue with my presentation, please take my pre-quiz found in the notes below. At least see kind of what you know going into the presentation. And there's also a post-quiz that see what I was able to teach you that you may not have known before. Hope you enjoy and get some very interesting information from this presentation. Thank you. So what is child sex trafficking? The federal government defines child sex trafficking as the act of recruiting, harboring, transportation, provisions, obtaining, patronizing, or soliciting minors with the intent of using them for commercial sex acts, whether this is prostitution, whether this is to make pornographic videos. There's numerous different ways that you can use these children and these young adults for sex acts, but it's to benefit them and for them to make money or receive other bargaining chips for. It is against the law, but it is one of the biggest problems that we face here in America. It is only second to the drug trade that we have issues with. So these are children, teens, and young adults that they coerce or force into the act of sexual or even slavery for their benefit and for them to make money or other bargaining chips off. So when we think of child sex trafficking, many of us will go directly to a female population, and they actually do abduct males also. They do abduct twice as many females as males, but the females are used more for the marriages, sex acts, sex videos. Males a lot of time are sold for slavery or forced into gangs, armies, anything like that that they'll be good at. They do also use males for sex acts, but not as prevalent as the females. So the type that they look for are the ones who have run away, those ones from low-income families, children from abusive homes, the ones who don't have that support or don't want to go back. A lot of times these people who recruit them or abduct them will make them feel like they have a better chance with them. They can make money, they can support themselves, they'll have a home. Many of these people are from other countries. Many of the people from other countries aren't able to read, or they don't have the education to know the difference, or they feel like they're going to America for a better life. A lot of the abducted children or missing children out there have actually been abducted for sex trafficking. So I do have a whole nother population statistic that breaks it down a little bit more into what specific children on another slide. But these are the main ones that these predators go after. So who are the individuals that go after these children? Or who are these individuals who purchase these children and the sex tapes from these traffickers? So a lot of these children are found to be trafficked and either sold to pimps or traffickers themselves. Generally, the traffickers are the ones who go out and find them, bring them across lines. The pimps are the ones who usually, where they end up, and are in charge of the money that they get paid, which generally the kids don't get paid money. The money goes to the pimps. So these are the main two who are in charge of the acts. Now, the other half of this are the people who pay for the actual sex. They're the ones who actually use these children. They're the ones who pay for the movies of these children. And they're also the men or women, there's both, who pay for the slaves. There was a gentleman recently who was convicted in Florida for paying for a couple of movies to be made of abusive sex videos of children over in the Philippines. And he actually paid for them to video explicit acts going on, but they had to be under a certain age. Most of them were 13 and 14-year-old girls that were being abused for these videos for him. And he was convicted and put in jail, rightly so. But this is some of the things that they have where you can pick and choose what they want done to these kids for their own pleasure. So what can we do to help prevent this and to help stop this? So there's a few things. One of the biggest things is educate your children, educate the neighborhood children, your nieces and your nephews, about the dangers of strangers, not listening to people, and listen to them. If they're having issues at home, give them somewhere to talk, give them somewhere to turn so they don't have to turn to strangers. We all know that our lives are not perfect, and some days we hate our parents, and some days we don't feel like we can talk to them. So give children, whether they're yours or not, a place to go and to talk to in a safe place. Watch your neighborhood for any signs. So a lot of these are, if you notice, unexplained school absences, multiple fake IDs, burner phones or multiple cell phones. A lot of times they have ways to get a hold of people, or they have to take them across different city lines, county lines, so they change up the IDs. Or if they're doing passports, they'll have multiple passports. They'll be malnourished or hungry. A lot of times they don't get the amount of food that they need, or they're kept more like in a slavery type camp. So if they're more malnourished or hungry than they should be, inappropriate dress for the weather. So these guys don't provide the proper clothing for these guys. So they may be in a short sleeve or a light jacket or long sleeves when they should be in short sleeves, stuff like that. Or signs of bruising, physical trauma. That's another big thing. A lot of them are not in a good situation. And then also presence of a controlling or abusive boyfriend or girlfriend. A lot of times when they're out and about, they're not left alone. So they're going to have someone who's in charge of them, hovering or close by, not far away. So if you see this, that's definitely something to be aware of and to make note of. And if you see this, definitely speak up. Tell the police, report anything you see. Just even if it's nothing, it's better to report it. Support local groups. So there's lots of groups out there that are willing to help and try to help, whether it's support people that are in trafficking and they just need help, support runaways, stuff like that. So reach out to them and support, whether it's time, money, anything like that. And then obviously if you suspect anyone of being trafficked or trafficking, speak up and report. It's the only way to get them to stop. So here's just some quick statistics I found. So 60% of the US children trafficked have been or have a history with the welfare benefits. An estimated 4.3 million are being trafficked across the world. Foster kids are at a higher risk for trafficking as they don't have family support or emotional relationships to lean on. And 74% of children trafficked involve or in a pimp-controlled prostitution. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope that this disturbing subject brought some light out there that you might be seeing or may be able to help. I appreciate if you would take my post-test when you're done, just to see if you learned anything new. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.